There's a reason we hear stories of people chopping off their hair right after a breakup. Or why so many entrepreneurs finally find the courage to start their own business after being let go. Or why changes in society only seem to happen after something goes devastatingly wrong. That reason is this: comfort keeps us still, but pain moves us. Successful people tend to have a certain trait in common, and that is perpetual dissatisfaction. It might sound like a bad thing: who wants to spend their life being dissatisfied? But when it is combined with the right skills and an action plan, dissatisfaction can actually be the most powerful agent for positive change. People who are always content spend their lives trying to sustain the status quo. But without a certain measure of growth or expansion, the human mind gets tired or bored. One of two things will happen to a person without that growth: their passion and purpose will slowly fade to nothing, or they'll one day reach a tipping point and become discontent, and only then will they feel motivated to make a change. According to the Beckhart-Harris change equation, a model developed in the 80s by organizational researchers Richard Beckhart and Reuben T. Harris, if change were a formula, it would be dxvxf greater than r. There has to be dissatisfaction paired with a vision for a preferred future, and it has to be met with the first steps for creating the vision. If the product of those three things combined is greater than the existing resistance, then change occurs. All of this is to say that dissatisfaction is often seen in a very negative light when, in fact, it's an integral part of human development. This is not to say that dissatisfaction is always a good thing or inherently an agent of change. You have to be able to use it in a way that propels you toward your goals. There are three types of successful people who are perpetually dissatisfied: maximizers. People tend to fall into one of two categories when it comes to decision-making: satisfiers, who look for the good enough option that fills their basic requirements, or maximizers, who search for the best possible option. Maximizers are visionaries and innovative thinkers. They thrive when they can identify things in their lives or the world that need to be altered or fixed and are driven by their desire to alter or fix them. That though they are often successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and healers, they can be stymied by their tendency to fixate on the negative rather than appreciating the positive. Perfectionists. Perfectionists cannot accept things being even a fraction less than what they can be. People with unchecked perfectionistic tendencies tend to actually hold themselves back. A common mindset is, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. However, perfectionists can actually use this impulse to their advantage. Their drive to do things better than anyone else can translate into a motivation to keep working on making something better when others would have given up. Overthinkers. People who are prone to overthinking tend to ruminate and focus on things to the point of skewing their original meaning or assuming meaning where there inherently isn't any. This can lead overthinkers to become more paranoid or skeptical than others. On the flip side, they also possess the capacity for deep, innovative thought. Overthinkers can identify market gaps and inefficiencies in current systems. They are always trying to break into new depths of understanding, which can make them masters in their fields. If you fall into one of these categories and find yourself discontented to the point where it's interfering with your happiness or ability to get things done, there are a few strategies you can use to plan your next steps. You might try setting a timer and doing one small task to help inspire your vision for a better future. Or you can imagine yourself advising a friend who has come to you with their complaints about feeling stuck. When you take your own emotions out of the picture, your path often becomes clearer. Your dissatisfaction can be a productive means of building a fulfilling life. But it is important to realize that it's not the impulses you have but how you use them that determines your fate.